হ্যালো স্টুডেন্ট, দেখো আমরা ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গল বোর্ডের স্টুডেন্টদের জন্য না একটা সাজেশন দিয়েছিলাম, সেটা ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গল বোর্ডের জন্য। বাট টুডে উই ডিসকাস দ্য সাজেশন ফর CBSE board. Now in the CBSE board, you know, that means from the March our class 12 exam is there. So today we discuss about the first chapter and give some questions of the reproduction in organism. It is the first chapter of the class 12. And you know, this is the first chapter of the first unit of the class 12 biology, that is the reproduction in organism. So what type of questions are arise from that chapter? We discuss it one by one. But you know, if we are ultimately discuss this chapter in very previously, that time you observe that generally the short questions are arise from that question, from this chapter. And in this chapter we have divided the two sections. One part it is the asexual reproduction, and another one is the sexual reproduction part. This is a very short chapter, so the long answer, long questions generally do not come from this chapter. So at first we discuss some of the most important 1 marks question from the CBSE board, maybe which is come in the 2020 board exam. First one, you know, the different type of vegetative reproduction processes mentioned in our NCERT books, but how the bryophyllum are reproduced and what is their mode of reproductions, like archive, what is their reproduction, that is the most important question. You know, the bryophyllum are reproduced by the leaf, right? In the marching of the leaf, the new plantlets are arise. On the other hand, and the fungi, they are reproduced by the conidia. You know that if you discuss the different spore, that time some spore is the motile in nature, some is non-motile in nature, some is the asexual spore is there, right? So what is their name? Like the conidia, right? This is what is the conidia and what is the juice spore. This type of questions is very important in our board exam. Another one is sexual mode, that is the budding. In which organism, like the yeast, they are ultimately follow the budding process. Or what is the budding process? That is the most important process. And you know, in the asexual reproductions, in where the cell division, which cell division are follow? This is the amitosis is follow this process, and most commonly the bacteria are follow this type of process, the binary fission. On the other hand, you know, the multiple fission process also be there. Which organism ultimately follow the multiple fission process? The plasmodium. That is the one also the important for questions. Another one is important question, that is the penicillium. Penicillium ultimately reproduce asexually. But what is their mode of reproduction of the penicillium? You know, the penicillium reproduce are mostly the sexual and asexual means. But what is the how the asexual reproduce? It is also be one important question. You know, the CBSE board exam is ultimately question is arise from the comprehensive board basis. So you thoroughly read the NCERT books. Another important questions, that is the zoospore and their characteristic features. It is also another important question from the first section of the asexual reproduction. This is generally all the 1 marks question, so very carefully you just note down this question and write the answer from your NCERT books. Another one is the sexual reproduction, that is the second section in our first chapter, reproduction in organism. So what is the different questions? You know, the sexual life cycle of the organism have the different event, that is the pre-fertilization, fertilization and post-fertilization, and explain this type of events and what is happening in that particular events. Also it is an important question for the 2 marks. Also another important features, explanation, like what is the syngamy, what is the embryogenesis, what is the gametogenesis, and what is the pollination. And these all the process are belongs in pre-fertilization or post-fertilization or the fertilization events. You just remember this thing also. And most important, another one difference between the oestrus cycle and menstrual cycle. That is the most important question, right? Please you start marks this question. That is a very very important difference between the Austrian cycle and menstrual cycle. Another important question, that is the difference between the monoecious plant and dioecious plant. This question also is very start marks question and very important. Monoecious and dioecious, that time you give the one definition, another one is you give the example, right? So another important question, the monoecious and dioecious. Another one very important question, that is the monocarpic and polycarpic plants. That is also important questions, but that is not so important. And these questions are already come in your board exam in the previous year. That is, the unicellular organism are immortal, whereas the multicellular organism are not. Justify your answer. This is a very common question in your board exam. Maybe it is coming in the 2020 board exam also. Because you know the unicellular organism reproduce in the binary fission. So all the cellular materials are come from the parent to offspring must be the same. So they are immortal, but on the case of multicellular organism are not immortal because the genetic material are vary and their combinations and two parents are also being involved in the sexual reproduction in the multicellular organism. Justify your answer. Very important question. Another important questions, that is the staminate and pistillate flower. Pistillate and staminate flower, that is the sexual reproduction and the flowering purpose, and that means the flower, some has the male part, some has the female part. So the staminate and pistillate flower also is a very important question. Another important question we are discussed that the parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis, that is without fertilization the offspring are produced. The honeybees are exhibit this type of process. This question also is very important, the parthenogenesis process from your first chapter, right? Next one, another one important questions, that is the oviparous and viviparous. What is the difference between the oviparous and viviparous, right? That is another one very important question. And you know the most important another question is there, after the fertilization from the ovary the fruits are formed, on the other hand from the ovule the seeds are formed, right? So this is another one very important 1 marks question. You just follow up all of this question from this chapter 1. If you are read carefully the NCERT books and follow up these questions from the NCERT books and write down your answers, I think all of these questions is got to come from this question, that is I tell you, okay? So please you read very carefully NCERT book. Okay, so this is our first chapter for the CBSE board, and next year we discuss another chapter. I give you some suggestion of the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. One by one chapter we discuss the all chapter. This is our planning. Please you follow up all of these classes. That is I tell you the suggestion, and please only you are ultimately understand, not that is not your final job. You please you read and write your answer in your copy. Okay, so thank you very much, and best of luck in your board exam that is coming the very near to you. Okay, thank you very much.